Hi.
Hello.
So my name is Danya. I am the RD here at the hospital. Um, just wanted to see how you're doing. It's Kyle, right?
Yes.
Great. All right, Kyle. I just wanted to ask you a few questions today about like your eating habits and like lifestyle. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. All right. So I just wanted to know, like, what is a typical day for you? So let's say, like, what's a normal eating day for you? If you want to tell me about like what you eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and some snacks.
Okay. So for breakfast, I'll usually have a bagel with cream cheese, uh, and coffee with milk and sugar. I usually get that at Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
Uh, and for lunch, I'll usually have any kind of pasta dish that we have at work, um, and maybe like soda, usually a diet soda. Um, and then for dinner, I'll usually have like a steak, potatoes, and then some like side vegetable. And for snacks, I really like ice cream. I'll eat it any time of the day, as soon as uh, especially afternoon. I'll eat ice cream at any time.
Oh yeah. I mean, who doesn't like ice cream? Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, it sounds like you're eating a good amount, like you're having a good amount of like protein, like steak. Uh, did you um, like about how many times are you eating like a vegetable or fruit a day?
Vegetables. Um, at dinner, I always have a vegetable, but lunch and breakfast, not really. Maybe if it's in the pasta dish that I have at work, I'll have a vegetable at lunch.
Got it.
And for fruit, not much fruit. Every once in a while, I might also have a piece of fruit with my bagel in the morning.
Okay. Or if it's like a fruity ice cream.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, nice. All right, you're off to a good start. The reason why I'm talking to you today is because your AC1 level was found to be just a little high. We'll go over like what that means, but basically means that you're um, a little like pre-diabetic. So we're just going to talk about the differences between pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes, and like how to keep track of like what these numbers and things mean, and like how you can, um, without just medication, how you can like make little changes to improve your health.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, so here is my handout. All right, so what is diabetes? It's usually when there's a lot of sugar that you're consuming a lot of sugar. It's in your blood. Your body uses it up for energy, but sometimes it gets to a point where you've bombarded your body so much with all this sugar that it can't keep up. Your body produces insulin to like reabsorb that sugar, and it can't really keep up with all the sugar in your blood system. So it can cause kind of like damage over time. Some of the complications that happen when it's not controlled, it can lead to having strokes, heart attacks, kidney failure. You may even heard of people that have had to get amputated from uncontrolled diabetes. So a lot of not so fun things can happen on the long term of having this disease. Um, So some of the risks of getting type 2 diabetes, usually it's with patients that are a little overweight or just older. Sometimes it's also genetic, and it also goes hand in hand with like high blood pressure. Not sure if your doctor discussed that with you. And there could also be traces of high cholesterol. So what we found with you today was the A1C test. So the A1C test is a blood test that measures your average blood sugar level over the past 3 months. So the goal is to be below 7. Yours was at 6.2. So at this point, you're considered pre-diabetic. Now, I put here lab values. So every time you go to your doctor and they tell you what your A1C level is, you'll know that if you fall within 5.7 to 6.4, that's considered pre-diabetic. Once you go past 6.5, now you're in the range of diabetes. Some other lab tests that you'll see is like your fasting blood sugar, or like what your blood sugar is right after a meal. So for fasting, about 2 hours after a meal or longer, it should be within 70 to 130 milligrams. So I know it's a lot of numbers. You can bring this with you, jot it down, have it on your phone. But these are just some things to keep in mind when you do go on your periodical visits to monitor your prediabetes now. So some of the things you can do to manage it. So we want to focus on how you're eating and also on some physical activity. So for eating, you'll see that you want to choose foods that are higher in nutrients and less in saturated fat, sugar, and salt. So most of the foods that are going to be really high in fiber are going to be your fruits, your vegetables, and whole grains. Also, if the cream that you're having in your coffee, you can maybe substitute that as well for a low fat or a skim milk type of creamer, or just go for the skim milk instead of the cream for your coffee. So just making little adjustments like that will make a huge difference over time. Also, always choosing water over soda, and really trying to get a good amount of those fruits and vegetables and lean protein. And now with physical activity, the goal is really to do at least 115 minutes of like moderate intense activity. So that means like maybe like a brisk walk. And you can break that up however you'd like. Like you could go for a walk maybe, trying to do the math in my head right now. As long as it adds up to 150 minutes a week, I mean, you could start out 3 times a week, 4 times a week. I did forget to ask you about how often do you do like some sort of exercise?
Not often. Any exercise I do might be with some coworkers, just walking maybe like 10 minutes during break.
Okay. So after everything I just kind of threw at you, is there something that kind of popped up and you want to learn a little more about? Like, do you have any concerns or any questions?
Yeah, I found this very informative, and I wanted to know more about how I could choose foods that were lower in calories, saturated fat, that section right there. Anything about?
Yeah. Okay. So it's a loaded question. Yeah, we want to think about our portion sizes. So making sure we're filling up first on our, let's say if you're serving yourself, you want to fill up more on your vegetables. So maybe like instead of having a quarter of your plate full of like broccoli, you would do half your plate with broccoli. Make sure like so that happens to be like more calorically like it's sorry, it's nutritionally dense, but calorie wise it's a little lower. Um, so that'll kind of help you with like controlling and maintaining your weight. Um, what was the other question?
Oh no, that explains it.
That explains it. Okay. Yeah, if you have any other questions, I mean, please feel free to interrupt and ask. But is there something that you think you can make a change from your lifestyle and from the typical day of what you eat? Like, what would be one change that you're willing to make?
Um, I definitely, well, not eating, but I could definitely exercise more. I've been thinking about getting back into the gym, and I think that this will definitely push me to at least try to get in there a couple times a week.
Okay.
And as far as food, I think that I could definitely watch what I'm eating a little more, maybe fill my plate with a little more vegetables instead of all the carbs.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not telling you to totally restrict yourself from your carbs because, I mean, I love pasta, so I would never tell you to not eat pasta. But yeah, definitely maybe just in like a smaller portion than you normally would, and then try to fill yourself up on what really counts. All right. So you said you want to start exercising a little more. I think we can make that just a little more specific. So as I mentioned, the goal is to meet 150 minutes a week. That might be, you don't have to go from not working out at all to doing 150 minutes a week, but you can definitely kind of break it down where you said just a couple of, so like 2 days a week. You could maybe start out like 45 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day of like walking on a treadmill or however you want to build up to really getting your heart pumping. Would that sound okay for you, or do you want to start at like 30 minutes 2 days a week?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Would weightlifting count, or do I just have to do cardio?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I would say weightlifting is fine. I mean, it's definitely important to also build up on strength as well. If that's something that you'd rather do than cardio, then I'd say go for it. But definitely make sure that you're. I mean, I would have to suggest that it's supervised. If you're like inexperienced, but if you do have the experience and you just haven't been to the gym in a really long time, but you know what you're doing, then yeah, I would say definitely pace yourself. Don't go all out 110% the way you probably did in the past, but just kind of ease your way into that. And I'm sure you'll get up to about 150 minutes a week.
Okay, that's definitely doable.
Nice. Okay. And what would be a challenge for you? So kind of like what we discussed, what's like a harder thing for you to work on?
So I say my challenge for me would be my time management. I might have a problem, um, you know, having the time to make the healthier choices and not going straight to maybe like a TV dinner or something that won't be as healthy for me.
Okay. Yeah, I do you grocery shop or do you cook or do you usually just buy like frozen dinners?
I buy a lot of frozen dinners. I cook once in a while, but a lot of the times I'm just too um, tired from the workday and
Yeah.
just kind of want to relax.
Got it. Um, hmm. There are some options. Maybe another goal. I don't know how. I don't know if you're really interested in starting to cook more for yourself. Maybe you could start um, doing like a home cooked meal about like once or twice a week, just to like get in the groove of things. There are pretty simple recipes out there that will it'll only take maybe 15 to 20 minutes of your day. I would suggest frozen vegetables are pretty good to add into your cooking routine just because a lot of it's already um, like blanched, so it's like softened. So you literally just have to throw it on a pan and then in like add maybe a little bit of like salt or like seasoning. I'd say like herbs, and you'd be good just to give it flavor. Um, and there's maybe like a if you have a rice cooker, you can just throw it in with some water or with a pasta. Pasta's not that hard to make. You just boil some water. So little things like that, just to get you in the groove of cooking at home and not so much of like being dependent on frozen meals. Um, like, how often do you think you'd be able to cook at home?
Maybe I could probably get to maybe like 3, 4 days a week.
Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, if that's doable for you, I would say you can start there. Even if it's just twice a week, as long as you're like trying to create this new habit.
Okay.
All right, so uh, okay, so the goals again are to start working out about 30 minutes a day, twice a week. And now we're also going to try to cook at home and find some new recipes that are both like quick and simple to make that are also nutritious at the same time. There are plenty of recipes out there if you want to look online, but how do you feel about these goals?
I definitely think I can do them. I'm pretty excited to get to it.
All right, I'm excited for you. I can't wait to see what the what the results are or how you're feeling after a while. But yeah, we'll definitely touch base in the future. Um, you have a whole team backing you up. You have your doctor. There's me. So we'll all work on this together. So don't feel like you're alone.
Thank
Um, yeah. So if you don't have any questions for me right now, but you do think of something in the future, you can always give me a call. There's my card. Leave a message if you do have more questions or you'd like to have more resources. I'm always available to help out with that as well. So thank you for your time, Kyle.
Thank you. Good rest
All
of your
right.
day.
You too. Have a good day.